to Red Hawk Media. We're continuing on in our web design series, and we've accomplished quite a bit. We've got a header, we've added in social media, added a Twitter feed, we've arranged some images and formatted them into different placeholders, wrapped some text around them, and today we're looking at audio. This is briefly what we're looking at here. We've got this audio feature going on. Okay, and it's going to create a little player that we're going to be able to load up with a playlist. And it's going to actually bring up your songs in another window, but it's going to have them all nicely and neatly housed here. And this is all customizable, but a nice little setup for a player here with some volume controls and all that. So here we have it. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this for the time being. And I've created a new page to start from scratch here, and we've got to put in three things. Okay, we got to put in some HTML, some CSS for the styling, and then JavaScript. So let's start there. And this is the website where I borrowed everything from here, jsfiddle.net. Okay, and they created all the coding for us. I was looking around for this. W3 Schools had options for individual audio add-ons, and this is what I've come up with so far here. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to beg, borrow, and steal. So the first part is we're going to go ahead and grab the HTML here. And with the HTML, we'll make sure that we're all the way up at the top here. We're going to grab all of this code. Okay, so go ahead and highlight all that, copy it, and then we're going to go back to Dreamweaver. Now this is HTML, so this is going to go into the body part. And we're going to scroll down, and roughly what I'm looking for is I'm going to put it underneath this header. So I'm going to go into this open space here and paste that in there. Okay, so we got the code in there for the HTML. If we click over, it's not going to look like a whole lot yet. So let's grab the styling. Go back to Safari, okay, and jsfiddle.net again is where we're at. We're going to grab the CSS, and it's all nicely labeled here. So let's go ahead and copy that. Command-C, jump back over, and now because it's CSS styling, we're going to go ahead and find a nice spot to plug all that in here. Let's put it right at the end of all of our other styling. So I look for the closing styling tag. Click after that last bracket, create a couple spaces in here. Let's go ahead and paste that in there. Now this code's going to look a little bit different than the other coding that we've done because it's all compressed together. They didn't do all the spacing nice and neat, any of that stuff, but it will work. In fact, let's go back over here, and you can see it's starting to look more like a player. And now, last thing, the JavaScript. We're going to go ahead and first, in here, since we're adding JavaScript in, we're going to create a new file. So I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go to New. And in all of these options here, I'm going to choose JavaScript, okay, and Create. Now that brings up our blank JavaScript file here, nothing in it, soon to have some code. Let's go to Safari, and now let's go ahead and grab all this JavaScript. So I'm going to copy from the start all the way down here, and Command V. Oh, let's try that again. Command Z, Command C. There we go. Wow. All right, and going back. Command V to paste that in there. All right, so here's all of our code. Let's go ahead and save this page, and we're going to have to remember how we save it because we're going to have to create a link to it. So let's call this player.js. Okay, and I've already got one that's on my desktop, so I'm going to just replace that for the time being here. And then I'm going to go back to the page that I was working on where I'm adding my audio. So once I'm back to the page where I'm adding my audio here, I want to go up to the top, and right underneath the title here, I'm along with all those other links that we have for our menu, I'm going to create a script link. Okay, it's going to link to that JavaScript file that we just created. Alright, now I didn't pull this out of nowhere. I again borrowed this from W3 Schools, and if I looked it up here, how to connect to JavaScript, this is what I came up with, or this is what they came up with. They're the brains of the operation. And I'm going to copy this from W3 Schools, okay, and then I'm going to move over and I'm going to paste that in here. Now right now it's got it going to a file that's called my scripts. I don't have a file called that. My file is called player. Okay, a playa. Sorry, had to do it. All right, and now we've got that linked up. Now, if I go over here, we should have something that looks like a player over here. Okay, and at this point, we're doing pretty well here. Let's go ahead and make sure this is saved. We're saving our JavaScript. I'm going back to the page that it's on. I'm saving that. And now I'm going to go to a preview in Safari. All right, and this is what it comes up with. All right, now this is their cookie cutter version of it with their songs that are all loaded up in here. And what I'm going to want to do is go in and obviously change out these songs. Okay, but it's looking good. It's looking good. I've got the play option. If I click on these, it brings up the different songs. Right now, it's kicking it over to a new window. We can adjust that too. So let's go back to the body of everything. And let's see where we're at in the code. So I double click, and right away I see, okay, here's the title of the song. Okay, and then here is the file name of the song. So if I want to load it up with my own file at this point, I can go in here, I'm going to retype the quotes, and then it's going to ask me to browse. Now it's an ahref. This is not a link though. We are actually adding these to our own files. I'm just going to choose this song here. Sorry, old Conan music. I have to give credit to that. And now we click open, and it automatically closes that. I might call this Conan Anvil of Crom. Alright, and now I can do that with the remainder of these. Just quickly go in, highlight this section, and let's hit my quotes, and then it's going to prompt me to browse. Alright, now that I'm browsing, I can choose a new song, and then open, and then we'll call this one Conan, and then this is Riders of Doom. Ooh, sounds foreboding. Okay, and there we have it. We can continue on in this manner, filling in all of our own music to get an idea of what's going on, and not to beleaguer you with all of these details. Your time is precious. I go over here and can see that this is all updated. Now, let's go ahead and Command-S this to save it, and go back to Safari and Preview. And now what I've got is my music loaded up. And right now it's bringing it up in a new window here. And actually it's not even a new window because I can see that it's taking me away from my site here. I'd want to go ahead and create for the time being until we problem solve how we can get this into our own player. It's probably because I don't have the music hosted online. But we're going to add in one thing just to make this a little bit more web friendly. I'm going to go in here. So we're back to where I added in the music. Okay, I'm going to go into the link itself so I can see ahref. And now I'm going to go in after the name of the song, after the quotes, hit a space, and I'm going to type target. Okay, target is going to allow me to decide whether this is opening up in a new window, a pop-up, whatever you may want. But I'm going to just say for now, new window for our purposes. And then I'll do the same thing for down here, target equals new quotes. Alright, so these two now should open up in new windows. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Command-S, go back to Safari and preview it. And now when I click on this, boom, I've got a new window. Okay, my new window opens up here with the name of the song, and then here's my original page, so I can now go back to that. Okay, we'll find ways to preload this in here. I'm going to have to work on the details of that in the meantime. But this is a quick way to get some music on there. This also works with M4As and M4Rs, so don't be afraid to put those in there. It's not just MP3s. So anything in the MPEG format, because our type is audio MPEG. So there's a quick player for you to get you started, and then you can go from there. All right, well, thanks for joining us again for another episode of Red Hawk Media. Bye. Yeah.